Alright, hey guys, it's Katrina Alaska's Hurricane here, and it is day 12 of working on the property. Today, Taylor has wood deliveries to do, so I'm going to be doing what I can and get some logs over to the cabin. And it is just an amazing day. The property looks amazing here. Just very peaceful and very surreal. Oh, this is what I live for. It's going to be very interesting today. Ooh, moose tracks. Going somewhere probably that way. I will have to be careful and make sure I keep an eye out for moose on the trail as I am logging today. As you can see, last time we made a whole bunch of progress on the wall, and over here is the remains from our fire pit, and out that way is where I am going to be traveling. Now, since I am on my own, it may be a little difficult for me to get good footage for you guys, and it will take up a little bit more time, but I will try my best so that way you guys can see the different challenges of building on your own instead of having someone there to help. Alright, so I'm getting everything that I need in order to head over there. It is a fairly warm day today, so I'm not going to use my jacket. That's a spare in case I get cold. I have my gloves, I have a tape measure, I have some ribbon because I'm going to be marking the boundary lines over there. I have gas for if I want to use that to start a fire if I need to. I have mix for the chainsaw, I have my snowshoes, bar oil, I have a hatchet, ruler, one of the most important tools, chainsaw. Let's get some trees. Okay, so we already have a downed tree somewhere over there. I've walked over to where we were cutting earlier. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look on the app X on the Hunt and mark exactly where the boundary line is over here, so that way I know where I can and cannot cut, where I should and should not. One thing I did forget to do is remeasure out the lengths that I'm going to need for the smaller parts of the walls, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to carry the 11-foot logs all the way back over there on my own, but we'll see what I can do. Okay, so I've walked a decent amount of the property and marked some of the boundary lines. It looks like the neighbors have theirs marked a ways down that way, and that shows me that boundary there. I've added a couple of markers of our own on a couple of the trees, so that way we also know and can see our own boundary lines. And that means all these trees we are able to use as logs for our cabin. So right now I'm just going back to grab my chainsaw and the tripod in order to be able to start taking some of these trees down, as well as I am starting to maintain a little bit of a trail. Oh, and I gotta go back and use the tape measure to see how long I am needing these logs for the shorter parts of the wall. And yeah, it's a very beautiful day today though. We're gonna go make those measurements and get back to chainsawing. chainsawing on my own? Let's go. So this wound up being my first time alone in the woods in general, let alone the woods in Alaska on my own property and using a chainsaw to take down trees. I was very weary and a little hesitant because I know Taylor was driving all the way to Anchorage for the deliveries and I was up in Willow. So that's like a 2-hour drive. So I knew if something happened, it would be a while before I got help. And right now, I don't have anyone watching my back or someone with more experience with a chainsaw to be able to tell me, like, hey, just make a little bit more of a cut here. Hey, that tree is going to get caught up on some birch branches up there and it's going to turn into a hanger. This was the first hanger that I had on my own, and I was hoping to push it left towards where the branches are weaker in order to get it down, but that wound up not really working, and now the tree just went slightly to the left. And I was trying to figure out a way to get it down, but I didn't want to somehow have that tree accidentally fall on me. So I decided to go over to the next tree that I saw and start cutting that down. Because being on my own is honestly a little more intimidating than I thought it would be. I had a feeling I would just go at it like I have been when there was someone to watch my back, but it does bring out a very different dynamic because you have to completely just rely on you and yourself and your capabilities to get out of a bad situation or take care of yourself if you wind up getting hurt or something. So, all that being said, after trying to take a couple of trees down and failing because they wound up being hangers or they wound up being a little too small, that did kind of create a little bit of a tinge to where it was like, I might not be ready to fully chainsaw on my own yet, and I'm willing to accept that. I don't have too much experience with all of this, and the point is I gave it a try. So I wound up, after all of this, walking around the whole property and marking the boundary line, so that way I was still doing something. And I also wound up cleaning up the area by the cabin. There were some stumps that were starting to reveal themselves because the snow is starting to melt a little bit. And so I just kind of cut those down back to snow level, so that way if one of us has a trip or fall in the future, we're not going to accidentally stab ourselves on one of those stumps poking out of the snow. So yeah, that's pretty much my solo trip.
Ruby girl. Excited. Going bye-bye. Yeah. We'll go to the property and play. Yeah. Yeah, that's my good girl. It's a gorgeous day out, and I'm out here alone. Katrina's taking a little break today. And yeah, I'm gonna go hard. This cabin needs logs. I gotta go out in the forest and find them. So that's what I'm gonna do today. And I'm not the best at recording on my own, so hey, we'll see what happens.
So after that solo trip, I wound up taking a couple of days off because I did wind up getting sick again. that is why this video is a few days late and shorter and a little different than the other videos, which I do apologize about it being late, but I was really not feeling good at all. So better late than never, and I hope you guys enjoy. Here in the next few videos, I do turn my phone sideways, so hopefully you guys can get full screen.
Woo! Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I got my log up here on the log stand, and I'm going to use my saw, kind of just clean up these knots, try to make my log peeling a little bit easier. Otherwise, it's just pretty standard. I just need to get logs, log peel them, stage them at the cabin, and when me and Katrina are both here at the same day, we're going to go ahead and put more logs up. Also, big shout out to everybody that's been leaving comments, liking our videos, and just watching, subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. It is our goal to kind of share our journey, and it's cool that you're having us in your home and part of the story. I almost have a video that's got 10,000 views now, and it's just mind-blowing to think that many people are watching and a part of it. So thank you.
I am reading comments, and I am starting to make changes of what people do and don't like. So hopefully the next few weeks are better. Thanks.